everybody. Welcome back to our channels. You're either seeing this on my channel or Linda's channel, but you got Susan Lynn and Linda G talking politics. And what a day to be talking politics,
what
right?
What a day to be talking. And Sue and I were just talking about, I don't know if any of you guys saw it. First of all, I can't stand Katie Torr. I turned to CNN, and then CNN had the nerve to put J.D. Vance up there. Mr. Flip-Flop. And I told Sue on my YouTube and my comments, I said, here's all the guys coming in for the Trump thing. And it was those little short guys from Spaceballs, the dink dink crowd, dink dink, dink 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 dink. And all of them wearing the same clothes. M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Oh, they kind of did look like school children, didn't they? You know, they kind of look like kids.
Somebody posted on my YouTube. She said, what is this, high school? I said, tell me about it, girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah, it's sad. It's incredibly sad. Well, I didn't get a chance to watch the news today or the listen to the trial because I had a friend visiting. But Linda said that Michael's in there holding his own.
Joyce is her name. She went on Allie. Allie was trying to act like, well, you know, Allie's always bad news. And Joyce came on. She said, you know, I thought he did really good. I do too. I think he did really good.
I think he did good.
Stuff, that guy that talked to him said, did you call me? And they used some foul word. And the judge cut your honor, you know. Nice. And they said, you know, it's like, it doesn't make sense. Why are you going to make this about you? This is about Trump.
Exactly.
No, I don't see Cohen being done, but it's interesting how they were talking about, oh, that guy, that one was with Ellie. He said, yeah, well, he's doing merch. He's doing all this merch. You know, he's got T-shirts. He's got this. I'm like, what are you talking? You got the Bible thumping fraud who's selling pieces of his suit, and you're complaining about this guy selling merch
that he got arrested in. I mean, he cut that up. And what about those NFTs or those basically a photo file? You know, that's nothing. That's basically nothing. And what about the Trump bucks that poor lady went to her bank and tried to cash?
And they were
like, ma'am, this is not currency.
But they still love him anyway.
That they still love him.
You know, you're just going to love him. That's all there is to it. You know, Rachel Maddow can piss me off, but I'll still back her up. I still love her. You know what I'm saying? It's like family.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he'll be back Thursday. Cohen will be back Thursday, and they're not going to be up Friday. So David and I was on a show with David from Tarot by the Bay, who, as you guys, if you watch that one, he loves us some Sue Lynn. He just loved you, Sue.
He's great. If you guys don't know him, check him out. Tarot by the Bay. It's great.
He lives out here, so we're going to meet for lunch.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Wow. Uh-oh, look out.
I said, are you paying? He said, yeah. I said, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. So anyway, I'm not like Trump. Anyway, he says he's thinking we could have a jury conviction maybe Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wow. So what do you
with time frames?
What?
I'm no good with time frames.
You're no good with time frames. But here's the thing. My spirit guides told me, this is funny. I was thinking about our collaboration this morning when I was waking up. I was getting ready to get out of bed. And my spirit guide said, you need to ask Linda to go into their energy. They said, because Linda can go into people's energy. Like she can, her superpower is she can go into their energy, and she knows what they're thinking. She knows their feeling. And then they showed me you with instead of your head, there was a crystal ball. And then they replaced it and they put a dish network, freaking satellite dish on your head. Like they were like, she is like the Dish Network. Like she gets like all your information comes in through your head. Like the majority of it comes in through your psychic thinking. And anyway, so Now, my spirit guides have tasked me to ask you. So think about the jurors. There's two guys, the two guys that are attorneys, and there's one woman. Those three jurors, there's something going on there. I think one of the guys is going to write a book, right? Like, I think he's going to come out of this and he's going to be like, I'm writing a book about my time. I mean, it makes sense, right? So that's okay, I think.
And then there's a woman.
And then there's this woman. There's a problem with a woman. What do you pick up? I mean, do you pick up anything with any of the jurors?
Now, what did you pick up with the problem with the woman, or what are you hearing?
So the woman, I almost feel like she's being threatened. And I don't know if it's from Trump or her own family. Like, if somebody in her family is a Trumper and they're like,
family.
Yeah, she literally is sick to her stomach. Like, she's just like, feels, she doesn't want to be there. She didn't know this was going to cause so much trouble in her family life. And she thinks she wants to convict him. She totally wants to convict him. But she's also kind of a wishy-washy person. So I think maybe the person in her family is.
The attorneys are going to keep her on the straight.
Okay.
The attorneys, what I felt was the attorneys are going to bring up the facts, outline the facts. First, they'll do a thing where they say, what's your verdict? As soon as they sit down, there will be a couple of people that aren't, which could include her. And then they'll go through the details.
Okay.
It might take 2 days for the jury. I don't see lickety split.
But like 2 or 3 days, maybe.
Yeah, but then they say that I feel guilty.
I feel guilty. I feel like there's a problem, like you're saying, like a couple of people are like, and it's not even that they think he's not guilty. It's that this is a lot of freaking facts and data, and they can't get their head around it to not have a doubt, right? They're like, but it was just too much for them. Like, this was like,
Michael Cohen lied before, so let's disregard him. I'll tell you who was one of the best ones was Pecker.
He was amazing.
Nailed it.
Credible, was a good friend of Trump's.
Yep.
He had no animosity. It's not like he was mad or trying. He was just stating it like it is.
Yeah. The guy, I told him I'm not a bank. He's paying out all this money. The guy didn't even have the courtesy to pay him back. Boy, to be a miser is so, you would think what it cost him. I had a girlfriend that had a boyfriend that wasn't very good with spending a nickel. And one day they were going to the movies and he decided to park in the grocery center across the street. And she said, they'll tow you. He said, no, they won't. We're just doing a movie for an hour and a half. Sure enough, they towed him. And it would have been better off for him to have paid for parking. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And so, in that way, Trump has caused all these problems for himself. You know what I mean? If he had treated Michael Cohen right, and stood up with him, and he just treated him like a dog anyway. But you're right. David Pecker was like the first serious nail in the coffin. So I really do feel like these jurors are going to get it together. They're going to come together and do it. But that, like somebody said in the comments, that's why we have alternates. And in this case, they added even more alternates. Like, if they normally only have 3 alternates, they made 6. Like, they weren't taking any precaution. They were like, we're going to be prepared for anything.
But they hustled. And did you hear the defense isn't going to call up anybody? So Cohen's the last. All those wannabe attorneys on the news, they were all saying, oh, they got 2 more after this. I said, how do they know?
They don't know. They've been wrong. All those attorneys, a lot of them. I mean, not our people, not like Justice Matters and, the Masalis brothers, a lot of those people have been right. But a lot of the people, I don't know who they are, that they get on CNN.
Everybody has an opinion. Yeah. Listen, and I know you too, Sue. Gosh, if we felt that he, okay, there could, something happens and it's a hung jury or something, okay? But I always feel in the end he'll be found guilty. I think that's today. I mean, next week we'll probably get it. My cards are showing it.
Yeah, everything. Exactly.
And I know if we said, "Oh, you guys, Trump's going to get away," we would say it.
We would say it. We would be in the witness protection program. We would say it.
But let me tell you what else I saw and heard energetically. I think Trump tried to beg Melania to come to court and she refused.
Oh my God.
No, she wasn't.
I think he did. It makes sense. He needs her there. I mean, he really does. I mean, it would help him.
Would have given that jury something like, well, look, even his wife is there, but she refused. And everybody was going about Weisenberg or whatever his name is. He said, no, they didn't need it. I'm telling you, they pretty much had decided on this, I think, after Stormy Daniels.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too. And you know, Melania does things that tend to not play well in the public. So if she were there, she might wear, I don't care, do you jacket, or, you know what I mean?
She doesn't like to be made a fool out of.
Yeah. And this would make a fool of. She's not going to, you know.
And someone wrote me on David's show, or wrote us. She said severe narcissists will do closing their eyes because they don't want to see or deal with the truth.
Oh, that makes sense.
Doesn't that make sense? Because his eyes are closed most of the time.
Yeah.
So, but listen, did you hear about the Dink Dink squad? Did I tell everybody just now what I thought? Okay, Johnson, J.D. Vance, all those guys, including his son Eric and the wife. Well, all of them were wearing the same suit with the same red tie, and they showed up for Trump, not dealing with their own constituents. None of them are from New York, not dealing with their own constituents. And I call them the Dink Dink crowd because there's a cute little thing on Spaceballs where they're wearing these robes. And they go, ding,
oh,
ding.
God, now I know what you're talking about. I totally know what you're talking about.
So I call them the Dink Dink squad.
The Dink Dink.
They came in.
That's what they did. You know, did you see? Because Johnson turned around and went right behind Trump. I mean, like, you know. So that's a good question for you. Like, so do you feel like the J.D. Vance, the Mike Johnson, the Vivek, and whoever else was there, because somebody else was there, how do you feel like is this going to hurt them? You know, like after Trump is convicted, is the public in November going to look at these people, or whenever their race is, look at them less than for having supported Trump to the bitter end?
It's going to be an embarrassment to be a Republican, because once he's convicted, I think another trial's coming up. What did you say?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel that even though he's going to fight it, I'll take this all the way to blah, blah, blah. They have been doing polls, not that I believe the polls, but they did say it would change their mind if he's convicted.
Yeah. Well, my friend that was just visiting me, her parents live in MAGA, Texas. So it was 6 hours away from where I live. And she just was there. And she says, Susan, they got MAGA bumper stickers. They got MAGA flags. And she said, my dad, who is so Republican, he said to me, well, I'm not voting for that crook. And she said, who are you talking about, Daddy? And he said, that Trump guy, I'm not voting for him. I was like, see, it's happening. And so she said, well, who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for Biden? And he said, no, I'm not voting. I'm going to stay home, which is what my guides always said.
Even the Nikki Haley people, some of them may vote, but a lot of them are not going to vote.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to stay home. And I'm happy for them. If you're not going to vote for Biden, stay home.
Now, do you think that they'll actually put him in jail?
Well, I've never seen him in Rikers, like with Weisselberg. No, you know, I've never seen that. I feel like, here's the thing that I think is not my favorite. I keep seeing there's going to be a conviction. We're not going to be as happy as we could be. It's like nobody is 100% happy. The Trump's a little bit happy. We're a little, like, everybody's a little bit happy. I'm wondering if they put him in house arrest in Mar-a-Lago, which would irritate me to no end. I've always seen him in like a Gitmo, in like a highly secured building with no other people, with no cell phone service, with no nothing, by himself. Because if you put him in like a general population prison, I've always seen somebody could shank him and then say, viva this country, right?
Yeah,
And now
he'll,
we got
he'll have his Secret Service with him.
yeah. So maybe somebody kills the Secret Service, or you know what I mean? It's too risky. I don't see us doing that. I just see him being isolated. So, but do you see him getting house arrest in Mar-a-Lago or no? Because please, I'm happy to be disagreed with.
More like he's isolated somewhere.
Okay.
But they may give some sort of reprieve that he can still do his little.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why I think Mar-a-Lago, and then you have to call your parole officer and say, I've got a, thing over here. I've got a rally here. I've got a rally here. I mean, he would have to check in with his parole officer, which would be something.
Right.
Yeah, like a military prison. Both Linda and I both have seen him in some sort of really isolated situation. But he's running for president. And the other thing is this. So there's a little wiggle room. Right now he's being tried on felonies. And the felony is that's what they're trying to nail him on. But if they can't nail him on that, they've already really completely passed the bar on misdemeanors. And so some legal people think that the defense could go to the judge and say, we want the jury to be allowed to find him guilty on either a misdemeanor or a felony.
Oh.
And if the judge agrees and the jury finds him, guilty on misdemeanor is like slap on the hand. It's nothing. It's like nothing. Yes. So do you think the judge will allow, because I don't think so.
That judge can't stand Trump.
I know. And
why would he give him any room? Although he stands by the law, he goes, but the defense has to agree. And I don't see them. I mean,
the prosecutors. Yeah. I mean, I don't see it happening, but this is like a wiggle room. This is something that,
look at Avenelli Hansen. Ben on Midas Touch said the jury seemed to be bored during today's cross. I think they're ready to vote guilty. That sounds right. That sounds right, my friend. And I wanted to tell you something real quick. All of those dink-dinks showed up late to the court. Did you hear about that?
No.
They came in late. And Cohen was testifying.
They came in the middle of the darn thing?
Yeah, they came in like 10 minutes late, and it was already going on. And they said that the judge really gave a stern look. But he kept watching Cohen, and Cohen kept watching the jury. And by the way, the jury never looked up at them. They didn't say, "Oh, look, here's Senator so-and-so." They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't even.
But you know what? I think they planned that.
Thank you, Sissy. Yes, I think they did too. I think they planned coming in late to make a grand entrance, right?
But they think there's somebody, and they're not. Just like Trump thinks somebody. He had that alleged big rally. And it was no time before. Because I said, if I was at the beach in New Jersey, sure, I'd stick around to watch.
I saw your video, yeah.
Everybody loves the circus. And then the minute he starts talking, they're just leaving in droves. Because he's not presenting things that people need to talk about. I got to tell you, I love President Biden, but he is old. If I had somebody else to choose, maybe. But he's trying his best to get everything done. His age, he's got enough money. He doesn't need to really run again, but he wants to finish what he started. And I really appreciate that about him. And I know he's old. I think this will be the last old president we have. But I just feel that he will win. I can see it. I can smell it. I can taste it.
Yeah, he's going to win. We've all been seeing it, honestly. It's not like
but that judge did not bring up that they walked in the door late, and there was some, how they have all those specialists on there. And I think the grocery store guy, Al on MSNBC, said, you know what? That was really good that he did not break the attention or say, or reprimand them. How dare you walk into my court late? He didn't do any of that. He ignored it.
And it looks like the jury ignored it too,
And also, they want the judge to address the fact that those dink-dinks of his are testifying to the public about his daughter and everything else. And they even admitted they're doing it because Trump wants them to do it. But I'm almost feeling like we're getting so close to the end here that judge might just, whatever.
No, I think he's going to just try to get to the finish line. You know what I mean? He's going to try to get to the finish line without any big problems, because you're right. We're so close to the finish line. But do you feel like as we get into this next week, because this is it, like I see him convicted, you see him convicted. As we get into this next week, I feel like that's when Trump is going to get desperate, like really, really, really crazy desperate. And then I'm not sure if he won't do something like throw a chair or, anything at all to delay the trial, right? Like even if the trial's only delayed a couple of weeks, that gives him more weeks. He's really fighting for every delay he can get.
Well, I got a hit. I'm sure you saw it in one of my shows where I said, I saw the judge dismissing the jury and then giving Trump a what for. But what happened was he heard Trump swearing and making faces, and he didn't dismiss the jury. He told that attorney of his, get him in place because I will get him out of here. And he stopped doing that after that.
Do you think he's going to spend the rest of the time in the courtroom, or do you think he's going to be removed to an ante room before it's over?
When he might show his pachikas is
what I'm worried. That's what I'm thinking about.
It's when he's found guilty.
Right. Okay.
This is rigged. This is what he'll just go off.
Well, when he's found guilty, then the bailiffs are going to grab him because he's going to go straight. He's going to be under when you're found guilty, like you're in jail until the sentencing.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
This could be, I'm telling you, I need to clear my debts next week because I need to just be like sitting here because it's not on video. We're all like in the 1930s listening to the radio. You know what I mean? We're all like, what's happening now? What's the latest update? So
they could actually handcuff him right there.
They could.
And then I could see that the
felony.
judge has to meet with the Secret Service and everybody to discuss how we do this.
Yeah, they've already done it. They already discussed it.
Oh, they did?
They discussed what are we going to do with him if he has to go to jail? Because when it was running his mouth, it was really a possibility that he was going to be put in jail for the gag order. So they already got with the New York jail. They already started working it out. I think that
Riker said they're ready for him.
I think that's what scared Trump straight. I think that's what scared him into shutting up because when they realized, and I think they leaked it so that he would hear about it, right? Yes. But he knew this is real. We're not playing anymore. So it's jail or shut up. You choose.
Somebody on his bunk strategically placed an orange turd. Oh, I love that Stormy Daniels. She was something else.
I just heard today that she wore a vest, a bulletproof vest.
And her attorney was on, and he said she cried her eyes out the night before. Boy, you would never know she was afraid because she came through so strong.
Oh,
you never know she was afraid. And I guess that the right media gave out her address and all this shit.
No. So what do you see for Stormy? I mean, she's got to feel like she's dodged a bullet and got her life back and everything else. I hope.
Let's see.
I mean, I wonder if she's going, I can't believe she reads tarot. Maybe she could be on your channel.
And she was on ghost channels. She does ghost hunting too.
For real?
If you Google her for ghost hunting, you'll see.
She's one of us. We need to bring her into the fold.
We need to bring her on the show. I'm telling you right now.
Invite her.
Oh, she's so funny. Oh, did you see what she said to Melania?
No.
This was a while ago. Melania called her a hooker. She said, well, actually, I don't get paid for sex. I perform, she said. So technically, I'm not a hooker. Unlike you who sold your P word and your soul to the orange whatever. And she said, by the way, I love your new boobs. She said, please keep posting the nudies so we can see how you look.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, Stormy, you do not want to go up against Stormy. Period. End of story.
I I bet you she's somebody that would make us laugh till we cried with her stories.
I would. I'm telling you, for sure. She needs to have her own YouTube channel and do tarot and do, do politics. Come on, girl.
Yeah, she's actually being protected by a higher realm. So she's creating the justice that needs to happen. She is stuck. She's afraid. She's thinking too much. She's thinking too much. She won't be hurt or damaged by anyone, but she feels like she will. The outcome for her is the 10 of Cups. So there's offers coming in. There's fun stuff coming in. Maybe even a series for her.
That's what I saw. I saw her on TV, like on a cable show.
I would watch it.
She could do an interview. As quick as she is, she could do like an interview series, or maybe she could do a ghost hunting series. We got to get her on our channel before she gets big.
Exactly. And the other one I used to watch was Anna Nicole. She was hella funny.
Oh yes, she was hella funny.
High as a kite most of the time, but
maybe it helped her be funny. I don't know, but she was sharp. She was witty.
So actually, Stormy has a good. Do you want me to take a quick look at Cohen?
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, what happens to their lives? You know what I mean? Like, I know they got out. They got out of the maw of the Trump destroyer machine. All these other dinks, they're all still in there. But what happens to them now? How does Michael, and I know Michael was scared too, because he said as much in an interview, and he kind of choked up. And somebody said, "Have you ever seen Michael Cohen like not have words?" Like he was speechless about being afraid for him and his family. And this was like a month ago.
Wow. And I didn't know he has to sit down with his family, and his family said, "What are you doing? Why do you keep kissing the ring? Why do you put your family behind him? Go with us, Dad. Quit doing this Trump thing." He said it woke him up.
Wow.
Oh, well, he's got the son, so there's some good news.
That's good.
Here. Listen, Stormy and Cohen can't have and by the way, Cohen's wife was there. They couldn't have this good of a card if he's found not guilty.
That's true.
They are very happy.
That's true.
Generous opportunities. He's going to be kind of blown away by the opportunities, a lot of strength coming to him. He'll be sought after.
Oh my God, I love it.
Isn't he doing some sort of show? So he could even be not on MSNBC, but could have something like a regular show.
He could. I mean, he's on Midas Touch with the beat down.
Okay.
But he could have his own show. He's an attorney. He's a smart guy.
Yeah. I don't see Biden pardoning him.
I didn't see that either. No, I didn't.
If he did, he'd be able to get his license back.
Biden can't. He can't. He just, I don't think he can. I think he wants to. Biden believes in the redemption story. He believes that people should have the second chance. And Cohen is getting the second chance. Cohen is the redemption story. But getting your bar license back may be a bridge too far. Getting a pardon, I don't know. I don't see it. I can't say.
And the type of attorney, he tried to be a Ray Cohen for. Oh, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
I'm going to talk about that. Mary asked a question. I don't think he was that good of an attorney.
No, I don't think so.
I don't feel he was that good. And no. I feel, that blustering and stuff sort of fit him, but he was kind of a fraud trying to act like he was somebody.
Yeah, he had a bit of a mob personality. I mean, that's why he worked with Trump. He was kind of like, "We're not getting paid. You know what I mean? We're not paying you." He kind of has that kind of bully personality, but let's let him rehabilitate himself. I love that. That's what all this toxic masculinity is going to be doing. He can lead the way for toxic masculinity to rehabilitate themselves and be more of a balanced, person.
Right. Now, listen, Mary asked about, will Stormy make enough money to pay that debt to Trump?
Yeah.
And she said she wasn't going to pay it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think even if she made money, she still wouldn't pay it. But there might be something like do you remember that Trump fired that FBI guy and he was just at this far away from retiring.
Right. That's right.
And they did a GoFundMe, and he earned way more money than he would have earned if he retired. By the way, he went back to court and sued and won. So I'm almost thinking like a GoFundMe
for Stormy.
That, yeah. Oh,
I totally thought about that. I even thought if she came on our channel, we could do a GoFundMe, for sure. But I did see her making that amount of money. I mean, I do see her making that amount of money, but I don't know if she can pay. I don't know if she can,
Just it's something bitter there. But also, I don't know how long he's got to live. David thinks he's dying soon. Well, Andre says his charts for this health. I think after this verdict comes in, he starts really going downhill.
I do too.
So if he's not on the planet, who's she going to pay?
Well, the estate. His estate could sue her, maybe. Ivanka would sue her,
Probably.
The kids would.
Ivanka, everybody said, when is she going to divorce? She's not going to divorce him. She's waiting for him to kick off.
Melania? Yeah, I know.
Melania, sorry.
Ivanka,
Ivanka, Melania, same thing.
I know. It's true.
We can't start a GoFundMe because that involves taxes and stuff. It'd have to be her that did it.
Yeah. But I mean, we could give her the platform in as much as I have a platform. But anyway, it'd be fun anyway. But I do see her making a lot of money, and I think that what I feel like is she's going to negotiate that amount. I think she's going to offer them, especially the estate. She's going to say, here's $150,000, take it or leave it. And I think they'll take it.
Okay. Oh, she will negotiate. Exactly. Because I almost felt like $250,000.
Yeah, she'll get it down. She'll negotiate it down.
Okay.
Because I really do see her making big bank. Like I see her making a couple of mil even. I mean, like she can't even imagine.
Yeah. They're going to be so busy, her and Michael Cohen. And, they know how to hit when the going's good. They know how to get going. They didn't need to bring in Weisselberg. They really don't.
No, I mean, he perjured himself. Why you want to bring a man back on the stand that lied the last time? What kind of witness?
They were claiming the fifth. I wonder if the juries are going to ask, because I'm sure one of those attorneys knows. Oh, he's up the river right now, which will be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where else are we going, girlfriend?
So it turns out that Michael asked the defense people, he said, or the prosecutors, he said, if I testify, can I get, because he's still under supervision. He's still under supervision. And he said, if I testify, can I get a letter from you that I helped, and I can maybe go to SDNY, which is the other prosecutors, and get and they said, yeah, we'll give you a letter. We don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give you a letter. He went to SDNY, and SDNY said no. SDNY, that's the Southern, they hate him. And they hate Michael Cohen.
No kidding.
They hate him. And so Michael was saying, look, I went to jail for tax evasion when I had no prior tax problems. I always paid my taxes on time. Anybody else in my shoes would not have gone to prison. And then I got out for COVID, and then Trump's guy put me back in. I've been treated unfairly. I should be off the hook by now. So why is SDNY not saying, look, you've done your time. You've helped the prosecution. And so there's people that think SDNY, that's the Southern New York district.
Is that where Letitia James works?
Somebody tell me in the chat. I don't know. Somebody said the SDNY is not on the up and up, that they're actually Rudy Giuliani's big hit. That was his little enclave, was SDNY. So I want to know if SDNY is going to get investigated. If they're going to be found out that they're putting their foot on the justice scale in the wrong direction.
Oh no, Letitia is state. She's state.
Okay.
Yeah.
SDNY. There's energy around that. There's energy around SDNY being like a nest of deplorables. You know what I mean? Like of people that you can't trust. Like there's energy around that being not on the up and up.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Trump, somebody said there's a Trump sycophant in the SDNY. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense. So listen, let's talk about Johnson. So the Democrats saved him, and he saved us with the Ukraine for some reason that we not quite. Somebody wrote me that they thought something, and I think what she said was true. But anyway, his career's going down the toilet.
With Trump's, these people that are going to go stand by him to the very last minute are going to go off the cliff. The people like Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels and even David Pecker are going to be okay because they recognize this is going off the cliff. I don't want to do that. I'm going to take my lumps and I'm going to do my thing. And the other people are Weisselberg and Nauta. Walt Nauta is going to go off the cliff too.
Yeah. But do you think somebody will secretly go up to MTG and say, bring him up again? Bring Johnson up again to be exited. And then all the Democrats say, yes, get rid of him. Could that possibly happen?
It can happen because what's happening right now is within the Republican Party, of course we have the Freedom Caucus, we have the Dink Dinks, we have those. But those other Republicans are starting to realize they're going to be losing their races. There's no money. The money is being siphoned off to the Trump National Committee instead of the Republican National Committee. So they're not getting any money. They're not going to win the races. And they're realizing, I don't want to go off this cliff with this man. So I feel like now you might start to see Republicans work with Jeffries. And they may, to save their own skin and their own seat, they may vote against Johnson and bring Jeffries in. Because I've always seen Jeffries in before the election.
Yeah.
Sometime before the election. But I don't know. I don't want Jeffries to be the speaker if he can't do anything. Because then it'll be really frustrating. And then he'll look like he's ineffective. So I don't want the Republicans to play us and say, yeah, we'll put Jeffries in and then vote everything he says down, because that's not going to help us either, right? So we're really in a chess match, and thank God Jeffries is a brilliant guy.
The voting comes up again. People are sick and tired of it, I'm telling you. And anybody that says they're going to vote for Biden, I was like, what? I mean, Trump. I was like, elderly people that are saying we're going to vote for Trump. I was like, you really don't care if you get your Social Security, do you? Because he will change up everything, your health care, everything. Now, what have you seen with SCOTUS? I feel something's coming up.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, that's what the guides were saying. You got that. You just get in people's energy and you know what's going on.
Well, Thomas is barely in there. And Thomas has already been briefed about the trouble his wife's going to have coming up.
Yep. That's what I've always thought is Jenny's trouble.
Jack Smith does January 6th. Jenny and the rest are next.
Right. And so what I feel like is once they have Trump kind of like offline, you know what I mean? Whatever that means, whether it's Mar-a-Lago house arrest or he's really in a secured location or he's sitting in the corner going, whatever it is, whatever, he's offline, then Jack Smith starts focusing on the Jan 6 Congress people. And that's what's going to loop in Jenny. And then Jenny's going to be like, you have to get off the bench. we have to go in hiding. We have to.
Or I've always saw that Justice Thomas is going to get sick, real sick, because he doesn't care about what anybody thinks about him recusing himself. He absolutely does not care. And the only reason him and Kennedy are still in there, or not Kennedy, him and
Alito
are still there. If Trump won, they both step down and let Trump get
you're right. Yeah, you're right. They're just there as placeholders.
Yeah.
But I've seen Thomas getting sick too. But the problem is I've seen this for a year.
Yeah.
He did miss that vote. Remember he missed that court hearing and he didn't tell anybody why he was gone. He just did not show up for work.
Yeah. So and also he's been sick for a while. He's gone, where he was in the hospital, but we couldn't find out what was going on. He's
No,
not.
I think he does have a diagnosis. It's just, he's just like McConnell, though. McConnell is still in the office, even though half the time he's fritzing out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's still showing up for work. That's how Thomas is. It's like he's going to show up for work. But I think Jenny's going to be the one. We got to go. We got to go. I just see her grabbing him and running.
Right. Yeah. Let's get out of here. And they got plenty of money in the bank. They don't care about nobody. He's going to get charged by the IRS, though, for accepting all those gifts.
He should. He should.
Charged, yeah.
And they're going to come back after Trump, too, or Trump org, or whoever that is. That it might be Trump org.
And I'm not quite sure. I'm afraid to say we're going to win by a landslide, but it feels pretty good. But I'm almost seeing big hearings, Senate hearings, with impeaching people like Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
They're going to bring up the fact that while they were talked to them and begged to be on the Supreme Court, they lied and said that they were going to not touch. Well, they're going to bring that up. So you're a liar. So we're impeaching you. It's going to be a shocker to everybody. That's why I don't think Biden will up it, because they're going to be able to get rid of the ones that are there.
You don't think he'll expand it?
I don't. I wish he would.
I wish he would, too.
But I feel like he's old school.
Oh, he's old school.
And he just doesn't. It's hard to. That's the hard part about him. He's too old.
I know. Well, he's a great guy. I have to say, I've come to really admire him beyond anything I ever thought that possible. He's saved our butts, but he's too old. Thank you, Luana. What do you think about Kamala? Do you think that in 2025, if Biden got a diagnosis and Kamala stepped in, do you think Kamala would expand the court?
I think she could. Yeah,
she would.
She wouldn't get in 25, though. She might get in at 27. I see Biden being able to do about 2 years, and then because he'll step down. Yeah. I don't think he'll die in office, but I see him stepping down.
Right. I see him stepping down. I don't see him dying in office, but I wasn't sure when. Like, I was pretty sure he was going to get through this election, but I wasn't sure after that how long he could hang in there. But I think you're probably right. I mean, he's a little bit like Carter. I think Carter doesn't want to leave the planet because of Trump, because he's worried about us. You know what I mean? And I think Biden doesn't want to.
October, he'll be 100.
I'm saying. But he won't leave. I think he's terrified to leave the planet while Trump still could win president.
So he thinks his vote counts.
I think somehow it's just the same energy I have with Biden. Like, Biden won't want to leave the presidency because it's his job. I can't leave my job. It's not right. You don't leave your job. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how Carter feels about his life. It's his job.
He called out Trump way back when, and they said, you will find out that Hillary Clinton actually won the presidency, that Trump got in there by fraud.
Yeah, he did. And you've always said he's going to be an illegitimate president.
He's an illegitimate, and one day down the road, they're going to take everything that he did. Oh, thank you, June. That's very generous. They're going to, one day down the road, they'll be removing a lot of things. When you look at the 45th president, it'll be a clown face.
I thought you were going to say exactly what I got. I got like a black square, like a placeholder, like we want to acknowledge that this was a dark time in our country. We're not going to acknowledge his face, but a clown face works, or an orange turd.
And I don't see his children being able to get in there. But let me tell you something. Melania will be really making some money because they're going to be wanting to do movies about Donald post-death.
Oh, my God.
Yes, they're going to do TV shows about him. There's going to be a lot of stuff done on him. No, they'll give the real truth, but it's like a show on Hitler.
Oh, it'll be a real truth. Okay, it won't be like a
no, not for me.
I thought it was going to be like a fluff piece on him.
No.
I was about to have to go to the bathroom and throw up. Okay, so yeah, Wow. And here's another thing. Let me know what you think about her and Barron. I see once Trump is out of and again, it could be that he's in the funny farm, or it could be that he's in a secure location, or it could be that he's gone, to the great McDonald's in the sky. But once he's out of the picture, I see her grabbing Barron and leaving to Europe. I don't see them staying in the United States. Do you?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. I don't see her hanging out with even though Eric and everybody's his brothers.
They don't like her anymore. They don't like her. And it turns out that Barron wanted. What's that?
Did you read her assistant's book? I got her book on audio, the one that was so loyal to her. Yeah. And she begged her to say something when the January 6th was happening, and Melania said no. But Ivanka hates her. And when she was supposed to give a speech, they deliberately gave her, oh, thank you, Lisa. They deliberately gave her a First Lady Obama speech. Remember, she said,
I remember that.
That was Ivanka that did that.
They set her up?
They set her up. She didn't know.
I didn't
know. She's reading this speech, and they're saying, wait a second, you're plagiarizing. She had no clue. They complained to Donald, and Donald just said nothing to Ivanka.
Oh, my God.
I kind of enjoyed the fact that it was back and forth.
Wow. 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 It's really interesting. That I kind of enjoy watching that guy, Scaramucci. Have you ever watched him? He's very.
I haven't seen him.
He's on like some shows. He just pops up, right? He's very bright. He seems to know what's going on, and he's candid. I like that he's candid. But today I saw him, and this person asked, "What do you think about Melania? What do you think Melania thinks about this court case?" Yeah. And he said, "I like Melania. She's a very down-to-earth person. I really like her." And I was like, "What? What is happening?" And he said, "No, she's not going to come to this court case. Look at what the case is about. She's not going to come there. It wouldn't be good for her to be there." But I thought, darn, I really thought he was so candid about Trump. And then here he says Melania's down to earth. I don't know. I'm starting to think, who was this woman? Like, on one hand, she kept Barron out of the public eye. And when Donald tried to sell that little boy, 18-year-old young man, to the delegates, to the political.
The family thought it was a good idea. And I think he's a good kid. And he just said, yeah, okay.
He just said, yeah, whatever, right?
Panic attacks. And she said, that's when she came out and said, no, he's too busy. He can't do it.
I know, but that's what makes me think maybe she is a good mom. And then, but I don't understand. She's so, when she cut up the rose garden, I mean, to me, there's so many things about her that are that's evil, right? So I don't know. It's confusing me for sure.
And she hates everything about America. She shouldn't even be in this country.
That's what I'm saying. She just needs to go back.
I'm complaining to that lady about Christmas. I'm sick of this Christmas. I'm sick of this rose garden. I'm sick of all this.
Yeah, she just needs to go to Europe. Go to some communist country someplace.
Yeah, there you go. But Barron is probably going to do good for himself.
You think he's going to do okay?
Yeah, but I don't like his older brothers and sisters.
No. Well, how about Bannon going to jail? That is something I always saw handcuffs.
I always saw him going to jail.
And it was never happening. And I was like, what is going on?
And something else is coming up. He'll serve a longer term than he knows.
Yes.
Something else. And also, I always saw Jared Kushner going to jail.
Me too.
Not Ivanka, but Jared. So after the win happens, oh shoot, there goes my doorbell. I think I have to open my garage. Hold on.
Okay. I'll do a song and dance while you're gone to entertain everybody.
Okie dokie.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I am happy that Bannon is in jail finally. And I agree with Linda. I think it's almost like he's only in for a few months, but I think in those few months, because it was a misdemeanor, he didn't even have a felony. But while he's in there, something else gets queued up. So I think he goes basically from jail to court and back to jail if he doesn't even stay in jail the whole time. So I think Bannon is finally getting his just desserts. And who they're showing me right now is Flynn. I think Flynn is going to get his just desserts too. I think Flynn is being queued up like right now. Him and MTG. I just heard MTG. I see her being investigated.
Oh yeah, and that guy, other one, the Cohen head. What's his name?
Oh my God! Oh yeah, Gates?
Roger Stone.
Oh,
but
Roger Stone.
Matt Gates, Beavis and Butthead. Matt.
Yeah,
Gates.
Beavis and Butthead. I swear to God.
Because I see when President Biden comes in, you think that they're picking on you. Wait till this stuff happens. We're going to be seeing that Jack Smith's going to jump on Les like flies. So you know what?
It's true.
They're going to take care of all of them, and the Senate's going to take in Senator Whitehouse. Is going to make sure that Supreme Court stops all this nonsense.
Yep, I agree with you. It's justice. It's going to be just the roadshow. Justice is going to go across the United States. It really is.
We'll do a tour of justice.
We'll do a tour. That'd be fun. I just, for some reason, it feels like they need to get Trump, like they have to get him settled. And after that, then it's open season on everybody and everything. And that includes Thomas, it includes Alito, it includes Kavanaugh, it includes all of those people, including Congress people, senators, and even that Democrat that we need to get rid of him. What is his name? The guy that had the gold bars in Egypt. I can never get his name.
Menendez.
Menendez.
He's going down.
He's got to go.
Independent. He's not going to win.
And the guy from Texas, Cuellar, he's dirty. I think he's dirty.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot both sides. There's a lot.
I think there's more on that side, but our side, we need to clean up the whole thing. If you're dirty, you got to go.
What was that show I loved? The campaign. Adam McKay movie where he said, get a broom because we're going to clean this up.
That's it. Exactly. That's what Jack Smith is amazing. He's going to do it.
I can't wait.
What about Fani Willis? What are you picking up on Fani?
I think she's going to hang in there.
I do too, but people keep seeing her removed, but I just don't see it. I even pull cards and I don't see it.
I mean, maybe we don't want it so bad we can't see it, but
that's true. But that's why I go to the cards. You know, like if I think I'm influencing something, I go to the cards because I'm like,
that's okay. The cards will tell you the truth.
But the cards they'll usually tell you the truth. So
if I'm going out somewhere, I'm going on a date, I used to throw them cards and they'd say it's going to be shit. Damn it! And they were always right.
You're on your date and you're like, I knew you were a tower. I knew it.
Well, girlfriend, it was fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah, this was a lot of fun, everybody. Oh, it's good to have a little laugh.
It's good to have a laugh. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, it's good to be with you too, Linda. Thank you so much for coming on. Thanks, everybody, for viewing our channels. Really appreciate all the support. She's got her princess wave. When she's on her tour across America, you'll see her.
And thank you to our people that are maintaining the chat. Thank you so much.
The moderators. Thank you to all the moderators, for real.
The moderators. Thank you, guys.
Yes. All right, everybody. Well, you guys have a good evening. Everybody take really, really good care, okay? We'll see you soon. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.